Jokes about life. Why it sucks to be an egg. You only get laid once, you only get hard once, and when you do finally get hard, it takes under 3 minutes and you're already in hot water. Chuck Norris jokes. Only Chuck Norris can tell you the answer to your question before you ask it. Money jokes. Before going to Europe on business, a man drove his Rolls-Royce to a downtown New York City bank and went in to ask for an immediate loan of $5,000. The loan officer was quite taken aback, and requested collateral. "Well, then, here are the keys to my Rolls-Royce," the man said. The loan officer promptly had the car driven into the bank's underground parking for safekeeping, and gave him $5,000. 2 weeks later, the man walked through the bank's doors, and asked to settle up his loan and get his car back. The loan officer checked the records and told him, "That will be $5,000 in principal, and $15.40 in interest." The man wrote out a check, thanked the loan officer, and started to walk away. "Wait, sir," the loan officer said, "while you were gone, I found out you are a millionaire. Why in the world would you need to borrow?" The man smiled. "Where else could I securely park my Rolls-Royce in Manhattan for 2 weeks and pay only $15.40? Disgusting jokes. One day in the city, a bus driver was making his usual stops. At the first stop, a woman came to the front of the bus to get off. She turned to the bus driver and said, "I think I was just molested back there." The bus driver looked at her and said, "Not on my bus. You couldn't have been." So, he lets her off and drives on. He comes to the next stop and another woman comes to the front to get off. She, too, looks at the bus driver and says, "I think I was just molested back there." Now the bus driver thinks that something has to be wrong, to get 2 complaints like this in one day is just unheard of. He gets up out of his seat and goes to the back of the bus. To his surprise, there is a bald guy crawling on the floor on his hands and knees. The bus driver says, "Sir, what are you doing?" The man looks at him and says, "I lost my toupee. I thought I found it twice, but I lost it again." Chuck Norris jokes. Chuck Norris can smoke underwater. Chuck Norris jokes. All wars stopped when Chuck Norris said, "Can I apply for the army?" Chuck Norris jokes. Chuck Norris can unscramble eggs. Chuck Norris jokes. Santa Claus asks Chuck Norris for presents. Chuck Norris jokes. Chuck Norris can whistle in 5 different languages, including sign language. School jokes. Teacher, I wished you would pay a little attention. Pupil, I'm paying as little as I can.